Join us today as we show you around the lodge we stayed at in the Lake District in the White Cross Bay Holiday Park. Before we start, my name is Nettie, and if you are new to Ears and Ideas or just not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. It is free to subscribe and really helps my channel develop and grow. Anyway, back to the video. The White Cross Bay Holiday Park is right on the western shores of Lake Windermere in the Lake District, and the lodge we were staying at, the Harrop Lodge I should say, had a great view of the lake. We particularly chose this lodge as it has 2 double beds and a view of Lake Windermere. Although this is a Park Dean resort, we booked our stay through host seasons as I get a blue light card discount. The postcode for White Cross Bay is LA23 1LF. With our booking, we could book in from 5 o'clock in the evening, and on our last day we needed to be out of the lodge by 10 o'clock in the morning. We could of course use the restaurant and other facilities around those times. Right, time to see the beautiful lodge itself. It is quite new looking and well maintained, although the steps to get onto the decking could be troublesome for some people. I found them a tad awkward, but sadly I didn't film them to show you or remind me of what the problem was. Hey ho! As you can see, the lodge has lots of large windows, so it's nice and bright and airy. We also had good sized parking space and could have got 2 cars in there if we'd needed to. There was also parking elsewhere around the site. We were quite lucky during our stay that most of the lodges around us were not occupied, so it was lovely and quiet. Okay, so the lodge has a nice entrance hall with a great little rack for us to pile our shoes on, and being in the Lake District they were likely to become wet and muddy. This is a lovely bright living area with a comfortable corner suite. The kitchen is really well equipped, and the weird faces in the microwave are not of me but of a reflection of the TV, probably the chase. As well as being a well equipped lodge, it was lovely and clean and it felt relatively new. As you can see from within the lodge, we had views of Lake Windermere and the surrounding area. The lodge had a decent sized TV with a feature electric fire below it and a selection of books. Back to the kitchen, let's have a better look. Just a bit of storage in this cupboard if you need it, and some of the manuals for the appliances. Then we have the microwave again, and below it the oven. Next door to all of this we have a selection of cups, glasses, coffee pot and a jug. Below all this we have a good selection of plates, then on the right side of the cupboard more plates and some dishes. Then there is a dishwasher, although I don't plan on doing much cooking here except maybe some bacon butties. We are now above the right side of the sink and there are some more glasses. Then there is a corner cupboard with more glasses and lots of space for bits and bobs. On the worktop are a kettle, toaster, tray and chopping board, along with a block of knives. Then we have the cooker. As I say, I don't plan to use this or the oven much. I'm on holiday after all. For those of you that do like to cook on holiday, this cupboard holds some Pyrex, bits and bobs and a cheese grater. Then the corner cabinet under the worktop contains a selection of saucepans that I won't be using. I might use a frying pan, but that's about it. Under the hob are some drawers. The first houses the cutlery and many other essential bits and bobs. The next has some more useful utensils. Phew, I won't be needing that drawer again. Baking on holiday? Nah, not me. Then the cupboard to the right of the hob is basically just storage with some egg cups in there. Then another one down below, again with lots of storage. The fridge freezer is a great size, and if you're someone that for some reason likes to cook on holiday, there is plenty of space for all your ingredients. As you can see, we've just got stuff for sandwiches and a drink in the fridge. Back to the hallway and the shoe storage and a floor brush. Right behind them is some more cabinets that house the fuse box, some storage, then a tumble dryer, the boiler, an iron, and dustpan and brush, and a washing machine, so lots of great stuff. Onto the beautifully presented bedrooms next. There are 2 double bedrooms, which is unusual, but what I searched high and low to find. All of the beds were made, bedding and towels were included. This is usually the case, especially when booking a lodge through house seasons, but not always if you book a caravan. The beds were of average quality. They were one of the letdowns for the lodge. I will let you know what frustrated me way more than an uncomfortable night's sleep in a little bit. The bedrooms are of a similar size, with one having an ensuite bathroom. In the ensuite bedroom there is an ironing board in the wardrobe. Both bedrooms have TVs. Around the lodge there is a decent amount of power sockets, not always in the right place though, but we often travel with a power strip, so that makes it all work. In the wardrobe of the second bedroom was a clothes horse in case you have clothes to dry. On to the bathrooms. As I mentioned, one of the bedrooms has an ensuite bathroom, and there is also a main bathroom. The bathrooms were both nice and clean and everything worked, and there was ample storage. Now is the warm-up to my moan that ended up with us not staying the last afternoon and night of our booking. From our lodge was a wonderful view of the holiday deck parks marina, Lake Windermere, and some of the lovely scenery in the distance. The The first day or two of our stay was a bit damp and dull, so we didn't make much use of the outside space around our lodge, as we would have done if the weather had been a bit nicer. But it was still lovely to have such a beautiful view. It was lovely being so close to this fantastic scenery, especially when the days started to get a bit drier and brighter. But then came the problem. As well as the fantastic views facing us, we had a huge deck in front of our lodge. But this is the problem. There was no furniture on it. I took screenshots of both Hayseas and Park Dean resorts for that particular lodge for my booking, and it was advertised as having outdoor furniture, but there was none. So on our way back to the lodge after one of our days out, we popped into reception, and the receptionist made a note and said she would get the team to pop some around. Come the next morning, nothing arrived, so once again we popped to reception and asked again. She says, "Oh no, yep, the maintenance team will sort it." During this time I'd also had conversations on the Parks app. Still nothing arrived. On the first afternoon, as the weather was lovely, I did sit out on a dining chair, but to be honest, I felt a bit of a plonker sitting on a huge deck on a dining chair. As to see the lake, I pretty much needed to be in the middle of the deck. It was probably made worse that we had no neighbours obstructing our view, although they wouldn't have had any furniture either. It was now our penultimate day. We'd been out for a good few hours and the weather was glorious, so I fancied sitting on the decking on some appropriate furniture watching the world go by on the lake. But there was still nothing. So pretty disappointed and super frustrated, we decided we'd just go home early and miss the next morning's traffic. While handing in the keys to the same lady at reception, I did ask her to log a complaint, which she did. Unless you have definitive information to the contrary, I suggest you bring your own outdoor furniture. If you, like me, enjoy sitting outside your holiday home. So with the bed that wasn't the best and completely non-existent deck furniture, I doubt I will stay with Park Dean Resorts again. I just can't trust what I'm being told and don't expect to pay for something and still have to take extras like deck furniture just in case. Once at home, I did receive an email confirming my feedback. It was actually a complaint, saying that they would learn from it. Sadly, that was the last I heard from them, and there was no means at the time of counter-commenting back to them. Anyway, rant over. I'll show you around some of the other bits of Whitecross Bay Holiday Park. It is such a shame I was left with such a bad taste in my mouth, as it was a lovely park. And yes, the bed could have had a better mattress, but otherwise it was a wonderful lodge in a stunning location. In the main centre you've got a reception, a shop, the restaurant, swimming pool and other facilities. Here on the left and straight ahead is a car park if you want to access the restaurant, for example, without having to have checked into White Cross Bay. Or if you're not planning on checking in, there's no reason why you can't use the restaurant here. Right, let's show you some of the other lodges as we drive to and from our lodge and around the park. And just to show you what it looks like on a beautiful sunny day, here you go. This was the day that ended up being our last day, sadly. We just finished with some beautiful evening shots from the lodge. I'm sad that I have to give negative feedback as the park has huge potential, but hey ho. Thank you for sticking with my moaning and watching my review, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing, and I will see you next time. Bye.